Welcome back to Basecamp Engineering, climbing to clarity concept by concept. Last week, we mastered Newton's laws of motion, understanding why objects move, stop, or stay still. Today, we are building on that foundation with free body diagrams, types of forces, and equilibrium conditions. By the end, you will know how to draw and analyze free body diagrams, identify the forces acting on any object, and understand what it means for an object to be in equilibrium. This is crucial for analyzing static structures like bridges, cranes, and even everyday objects like a book on a table. So grab your notebook, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more lessons every Friday. And let's get started. In mechanical engineering, a free body diagram or FBD is an essential analytical tool for understanding the forces acting on a physical system. It's a graphical representation that isolates a single object or component depicting all external forces acting on it while ignoring internal forces surrounding structures or other objects. This isolation is critical for applying Newton's laws of motion, particularly for static or dynamic equilibrium analysis. Let's walk through constructing an FBD for an engineering scenario. A 10 kg box resting on a frictionless horizontal table. Our goal is to identify and visualize the forces to ensure the system is in static equilibrium, a fundamental concept in structural design and mechanics. First, we isolate the box. Draw it as a simple rectangle to represent the object clearly. This isolation is the cornerstone of an FBD. Focus only on the box, ignoring the table or any other external elements for now. Next, we identify the external forces. Gravity acts downward on the box, pulling it towards Earth. The force of gravity or weight is calculated as the product of mass and gravitational acceleration. F gravity is equals to mg, where m is the mass in kilograms and g is approximately 9.8 meters per second squared on Earth's surface. For our 10 kg box, F gravity is equals to 98 newtons directed downward. To balance this downward force and prevent the box from accelerating through the table exerts an upward normal force perpendicular to the contact surface. The normal force, F normal, counters gravity to maintain equilibrium in the vertical direction. Since the box is at rest and the table is horizontal, F normal is equals to 98 Newton upward, balancing the 98 Newton of gravity. Since we have specified a frictionless table for simplicity, there is no horizontal force opposing motion. Friction is zero, so we don't add a friction arrow yet. However, in real-world engineering scenarios, friction might be present, and we would include it as a horizontal force opposing potential motion. For this static, frictionless case, our FBD shows two arrows, a 98 Newton downward arrow for gravity and a 98 Newton upward arrow for the normal force. This FBD allows us to verify equilibrium by ensuring the net force sigma F equals 0 in both vertical and horizontal directions. Vertically, 98 Newton down plus 98 Newton up is equals to 0, and horizontally, 0 Newton is equals to 0. This is vital for engineering applications like designing stable structures or machines. Let's solve an example to deepen your understanding of FPDs in static analysis, focusing on a slightly more complex system. Now, let's modify our scenario. A 50 Newton horizontal push is applied to the right on the box, but it remains stationary on the frictionless table. Assume a coefficient of static friction μs of 0.6 is introduced to account for a realistic surface, correcting our earlier assumption. We need to update the FBD to reflect this. Gravity remains 98 Newton downward. The normal force is still 98 Newton upward to balance it. And now, we have an applied force of 50 Newton to the right. Static friction opposes this potential motion acting to the left. The maximum static friction force is given by F friction max is equals to mu s multiplied by F normal, which is equals to 58.8 newtons. Since the applied force 50 newton is less than 58.8 newton, the box doesn't move, and static friction equals the applied force to maintain equilibrium. So F friction is equals to 50 newton left. Check sigma F equals to 0. Vertically, 98 Newton down plus 98 Newton up is equals to 0. Horizontally, 50 Newton right plus 50 Newton left is equals to 0. This confirms the box is in static equilibrium, a critical concept for designing stable mechanical systems like conveyor belts or structural supports. Quiz time. For a 20 kg box resting on a frictionless horizontal table, what forces are shown in its FBD? The answer is B, gravity and normal force, since it's frictionless and static. Great job if you got that. Let's move on to the types of forces in more detail. In mechanical engineering, forces are the fundamental interactions that govern the behavior of physical systems, driving motion, maintaining equilibrium, or causing deformation. Understanding the various types of forces, gravity, normal force, friction, tension, and applied forces, is essential for designing robust structures, machines, and vehicles. Let's explore each type in detail, focusing on their engineering applications and how they appear in free body diagrams. First, gravity. Every object near Earth's surface experiences a downward gravitational force, calculated as F gravity is equals to mg, where m is the mass in kilograms and g is the gravitational acceleration, typically 9.8 meters per second squared at sea level. For a 20 kilograms hanging weight suspended by a steel cable, F gravity is equals to 196 Newton downward. This force acts at the object's center of mass, pulling it towards the Earth's center, and is a constant consideration in structural and mechanical design such as crane systems or suspended loads. Next, the normal force. This is the perpendicular reaction force exerted by a surface to prevent an object from penetrating it, always acting normal to the contact surface. For our hanging weight, there is no normal force since it's not in contact with the surface. But for a 1500 kilograms car parked on a 10-degree incline, the normal force counters the perpendicular component of the gravity. We will calculate this in our example. The normal force ensures equilibrium in the direction perpendicular to the surface, critical for stability in automotive and civil engineering applications. Then, friction opposes relative motion or potential motion between two surfaces in contact. It's divided into static friction, which prevents motion like a box staying put on a table, and kinetic friction, which opposes sliding motion if the box moves. Friction depends on the normal force and a coefficient of friction, mu. For static friction, F friction is less than equals to mu s multiplied by F normal, where mu s is the coefficient of static friction, typically higher than the kinetic coefficient mu k, where F friction is equals to mu k multiplied by F normal. For instance, a rough surface might have mu s equals to zero point 0.7 and mu k equals zero point 0.5. In engineering, friction is crucial for grip in tires, brakes, or machine components, but it can also cause wear or inefficiency, requiring careful design considerations. Another force is tension, found in flexible elements like ropes, cables, or springs, pulling objects in opposite directions along the element's length. For our 20 kilograms hanging weight, the steel cable exerts an upward tension force of 196 newtons to balance gravity, ensuring static equilibrium. Tension is vital in systems like cranes, elevators, or suspension bridges, where cables must withstand significant loads without failure. Finally, applied forces are external pushes or pulls, such as a person pushing a box, wind acting on a structure, or a motor driving a mechanism. These forces are often variable and depend on external conditions, making them key in dynamic analysis. Let's dive into an advanced engineering example to apply these forces, focusing on the car on an incline. Consider a 15,000 kilogram car parked on a 10-degree incline with a coefficient of static friction mu s equals zero point 0.7. We will draw its FBD and determine if it remains stationary. Gravity pulls downward at F gravity equals 14,700 newtons. On the incline, resolve this into components. Perpendicular to the incline, F gravity perpendicular is equals to 14,700 multiplied by cos 10 degrees, which is nearly equals to 14,480 newtons. And parallel to the incline, F gravity parallel is equals to 14,700 newton multiplied by sine 10 degrees, which is nearly equals to 2,553 newtons downward along the slope. The normal force F normal balances the perpendicular component, so F normal will be equal to 14,480 newtons upward, perpendicular to the incline. Static friction opposes the parallel gravity component, so F friction is less than equals to mu s multiplied by F normal, which is equals to 10,136 newtons. Since 10,136 newtons is greater than 2,553 newtons, friction can fully oppose the 2,553 newtons, keeping the car stationary. Check sigma f equals to 0. Perpendicular 14,480 newtons down plus 14,480 newtons up is equals to 0. Parallel 2,553 newtons down plus 2,553 newtons up, which is equals to 0. The car is in static equilibrium, a critical insight for automotive design, ensuring stability on slopes without slippage. Quiz time. For a 1000 kilogram car parked on a horizontal road with mu s equals 0.8, what is the maximum static friction force the road can provide if no push is applied? The answer is A, 7840 newtons. Well done if you got that. Let's explore equilibrium conditions next. In mechanical and civil engineering, equilibrium is a critical state where an object or a structure is at rest or moving at constant velocity with no net acceleration or rotation. For static objects such as bridges, cranes, or beams, this state is defined by two fundamental conditions. The net force sigma f must equal 0, ensuring no translation motion, and the net torque or moment sigma m must equal 0, ensuring no rotational motion. These conditions are the backbone of statics, enabling engineers to design stable, load-bearing structures that withstand forces without failure. Let's explore these equilibrium conditions in exhaustive detail, focusing on their application in structural mechanics and then solve a highly detailed engineering example to reinforce their significance. First, sigma f equals 0 requires that the sum of all forces acting on the system in any direction, vertical, horizontal, or otherwise, must be 0. This ensures the object doesn't accelerate linearly. For a vertical system, upward forces must exactly balance downward forces. For horizontal, leftward forces must balance rightward forces. Consider a uniform steel I-beam, 5 meters long with a mass of 200 kilograms and a cross-sectional area of 0.02 meters squared made of steel with a density of 7,850 kilograms per meters cubed. The beam's weight is calculated as F beam is equals to mg, where m is equals to 200 kilograms and g is equals to 9.8 meters per second squared. So F beam is equals to 1960 newtons downward. This weight acts at the beam's center of mass, 2.5 meters from each end due to its uniform distribution. Additionally, a 1000 newtons concentrated load is applied downward at the midpoint. The beam is supported at both ends, a hinged support at the left allowing rotation but not translation, and a roller support at the right allowing horizontal movement but not vertical. These supports exert reaction forces Ra at the left and Rb at the right, both upward. To satisfy sigma f equals 0 in the vertical direction, Ra plus Rb should be equal to 1960 newtons plus 1000 newtons, which is equals to 2960 newtons. This balance is critical for ensuring the beam doesn't sink or lift under load, a key consideration in structural integrity. Second, sigma m equals 0 requires that the sum of all moments or torques about any point on the system must be 0, preventing rotational motion. Torque is defined as Tor is equals to Ft, where F is the force magnitude and D is the perpendicular distance from the force to the pivot point with direction determined by clockwise or counterclockwise rotation. To solve for the reaction forces, take moments about the left support to eliminate it from the equation. As a hinge can resist both force and moment, but simplifies our calculation here. The 1960 Newton beam weight acting at 2.5 meters from Ra creates a clockwise movement of 4900 Newton meters. The 1000 Newton load at 2.5 meters from Ra creates another clockwise movement of 2500 Newton meters. The right reaction Rb at 5 meters from Ra creates a counterclockwise movement of Rb multiplied by 5 meters. For sigma m equals 0, the sum of clockwise movements equals the counterclockwise movement. 4900 Newton meter plus 2500 Newton meter is equals to Rb multiplied by 5 meters. Solving for Rb equals to 1480 Newtons upward. Then using sigma f equals 0, Ra is equals to 1480 Newtons upward. This confirms the beam is in static equilibrium with sigma f equals 0 and sigma m equals 0, ensuring no translation or rotation. These calculations are vital for designing beams in civil infrastructure such as bridges or building frameworks, where load distribution and support reactions must be precisely balanced to prevent a structural failure under static or dynamic loads. Let's solve an advanced multi-load engineering example to apply these equilibrium conditions to a more complex structural system reflecting real-world challenges in mechanical design. Let's modify our beam scenario to include additional loads. Add a 500 newtons concentrated load 1 meters from the left support and a 300 newtons load 4 meters from the left, keeping the 1000 newton load at 2.5 meter and the 200 kilograms beam weight. We need to redraw the FBD and recalculate equilibrium. The beam's weight remains 1960 newtons downward at 2.5 meters. The 1000 newtons load at 2.5 meters, the 500 newton load at 1 meter, and the 300 newtons load at 4 meters. Total downward force is equals to 3760 newtons. For sigma f equals 0, Ra plus Rb should be equal to 3760 newtons. Take moments about Ra. The 1960 newtons weight at 2.5 meters gives 4900 newton meters clockwise. The 1000 newton load at 2.5 meters gives 2500 newton meters clockwise. The 500 newton load at 1 meter gives 500 newton meters clockwise. The 300 newton load at 4 meters gives 1200 newton meters clockwise. Total clockwise movement is equals to 9100 newton meters. Rb at 5 meters gives Rb multiplied by 5 meters counterclockwise. So Rb is equals to 1820 newtons. Then Ra is equals to 1940 newtons. Check sigma f equals to 0 and sigma m equals to 0, confirming equilibrium. Quiz time. For a 4 meter uniform beam of mass 150 kilograms with a 600 newtons load at 2 meters from the left, supported by a hinge at the left and roller at the right, what is the reaction force Rb at the right support? The answer is B, 1770 newtons. Fantastic work if you got that. Let's wrap up with real-world applications. In mechanical and civil engineering, the principles of free body diagrams, force types, and equilibrium conditions, sigma f equals 0 and sigma m equals 0, are not abstract concepts, but critical tools for designing and analyzing real-world systems. These principles ensure the stability and safety of structures, machinery, and everyday objects under various loads. Let's dive deeply into practical applications, focusing on how engineers apply FBDs, forces, and equilibrium to solve complex problems. Consider a suspension bridge with a 200-meter span modeled as a uniform 50,000 kilograms load distributed evenly across its deck supported by cable-stayed towers at each end. The bridge's weight is F bridge equals to 490,000 newtons downward, acting at the center of mass for simplicity. Each tower exerts an upward reaction force RL and RR, and the cables provide tension T, pulling upward and inward. To maintain equilibrium, draw an FBD for the bridge deck. Gravity pulls down at 490,000 newtons. Reactions RL and RR push up, and tensions in the cables balance horizontal components. For sigma m equals 0, take moments about one tower, assume the bridge's weight creates a clockwise movement, and tensions creates counterclockwise movements to balance it. Engineers calculate these forces to ensure the bridge doesn't sag, tip, or fail under traffic or wind loads. Quiz time. For a hydraulic crane lifting a 3000 kg steel plate, what is the tension in the cable if the plate is stationary? The answer is A, 29,400 newtons. Brilliant work if you got that. That's your comprehensive foundation for free body diagrams, types of forces, and equilibrium conditions. You have now mastered the tools to analyze static systems, from drawing FBDs to identifying forces like gravity, normal, friction, tension, and applied forces, and ensuring equilibrium for structures like beams, bridges, cranes, and everyday objects. This knowledge is your stepping stone to advanced mechanical and structural engineering, empowering you to design stable, safe systems that withstand real-world loads. Don't forget to subscribe for next Friday's lesson. To practice and solidify your mastery of this topic, try these 10 questions. Share your detailed solutions in the comments and let's build our engineering community together. See you next Friday.